Thanks, Chris. Social media guy Harold Phillips here again, folks, and as you can probably tell from the clips you just heard, our Labor Radio Podcast Network members have a lot to talk about on a lot of different topics. But you know what? There are a lot more topics than Chris and Captain Swing could fit into this week's show. That's where I come in every week, with a few more shows you should know. Solidarity Breakfast shares a report on the planned stop work action for Palestine, plus a look at why public housing matters, and Australia's Economic Roundtable. Bua Basabetsi also keeps the focus on Palestine as they talk to the creator of The Urgent Call of Palestine about her song and why it's being reissued. And in another episode released over the past week, they cover the backlog at South Africa's Commission for Conciliation, Mediation, and Arbitration after budget cuts. But look, you don't need me to tell you that music is a powerful tool. And you don't need to tell my Labor Radio host, Mark Gavart, either. On the latest episode of the show, he looks at the soundtrack of struggle as he talks with the authors of Strike While the Needle is Hot, a discography of workers' revolt. Speaking of history, Working Class History is back this week with part 2 of its series on the important role of women in Britain's Great Miners' Strike. There are a lot of books out there on labor history, and you don't have to read all of them. On the SAG-AFTRA podcast, Sean Pratt breaks down the skills and home setups required for audiobook narration, and discusses why AI won't replace human storytellers. You know, SAG-AFTRA is one of those show business unions, and so is the Writers Guild of America East. They may be in show business, but that doesn't mean they don't have to deal with big business just like any other union. On the latest episode of WGA East's On Writing podcast, member organizers break down how to organize, bargain, and enforce WGA's contracts. See what I mean? There are so many topics for our labor radio shows and podcasts to talk about. And if you want to find links to these shows, or any of the other 200 radio shows and podcasts in the network, you know where to go. Just head to laborradionetwork.org. And if you want to hear what topics the producers of these and the other shows in the network are talking about, follow us on social media at LaborRadioNet, on Blue Sky, and on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, for now. Okay, Chris, back to you. I think I'm going to give that SAG-AFTRA podcast another listen and see how my home recording setup stacks up.